I refuse to look at any girl when they pass by me. I try to avoid it. I'm tempted to look at her. Is it a sin? Temptation is not a sin. See, if a thought comes into your mind and you saw a pretty girl and you look at her and you're tempted, that is not a sin. Someone put it like this: the first look is temptation, the second look is sin. It's a good way to put it, but I would say even the second look is not necessarily sin. Sin is when you lust. Jesus did not say if you look at a girl, it is sin. Read carefully. If you look at a girl to lust for her, then it is sin. And you long for her body and imagine things, that is sin. Or sometimes when there's no girl around, just you sit around and a thought comes into your mind, it's a temptation. I reject it. You will never be able to live without temptation. You'll be tempted till the end of your life. Temptations will come. It's like someone said, the birds will keep flying over your head. You can't blame anybody for that. But if they start making a nest on your hair, then you can stop it. That's sin. When the birds decide to come and make a nest in your hair. So when the thought comes and goes, it's like a bird going through. You can't do anything about it. But if you say, yeah, I want to think about that, I like that, then you've sinned. So you have to be careful. So when this girl passes by and she's gone and the thought is still in my mind, I know she'll come back, so I'll get another chance to look at her. Honest, that's exactly how many boys feel. Does this mean I'm sinning? No, you're not. See, we are made in such a way that we are attracted to girls after a certain age. There's nothing wrong in that. And we are attracted to physical beauty, but we have to be very careful. That's all I say. To be attracted to physical beauty is not wrong. For example, when Adam and Eve went into the garden, the Lord did not say, there's a very beautiful tree there called the tree of knowledge of good and evil. I don't want you to eat it, and I don't even want you to be attracted towards it. That's not what he said. It was very attractive. It made Eve's mouth water. She saw it was good. It says in Genesis 3. But would she have sinned just because she was attracted? No. The Lord did not say don't get attracted. The Lord said don't take it and eat it. So there's nothing wrong in being attracted to a pretty girl or a spiritually minded girl. You've got to be careful that this pretty girl is spiritually minded. See, there's a verse in Proverbs. I want you to... By the way, Proverbs is an excellent book for all you young people to read. I want to tell you, young boys, young men, read Proverbs many, many times. Somebody has said there are 31 chapters in Proverbs, so you can make a habit of reading one every day, and most months you'll finish the whole book. Where there are only 30 days, read 2 chapters extra. Try and finish Proverbs once a month, at least for some time. Get very familiar with, because in Proverbs there's a lot of instructions concerning dealing with women. Here's one. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 25. It's a very practical book. Proverbs 6:25. Don't desire a girl's beauty in your heart. I'm not talking about her body. You may not be wanting her body. You don't want to sleep with her. You don't want to hug her or have sex with her. Her beauty, if you keep admiring her beauty, you can fall. And don't let her catch you with her eyelids. You got to be very careful about a girl's eyes. With the eyes, a girl can catch you. You got to be very careful. So that's why, it's a modest girl, a really modest girl will never look you straight in the eye for too long. It's a little immodest type, because she'll feel embarrassed, and even when in conversation, she will not be staring at you. There's a little guidelines. Don't let a girl catch you with her eyelids, and don't lust for a girl's beauty. Remember that the saying which even the worldly people know, beauty is only skin deep. Beauty is skin deep means if you take off the skin, what is in that girl? Just a skeleton. It's only there. The skin that covers the face is the only difference between an ugly girl and a beauty girl. Inside, the skeleton is exactly the same. But this has got a covering with, if you know chemistry, you know these are all molecules. And an interesting arrangement of molecules that makes the face pretty, and the arrangement of molecules there is not so good. It's just basically beauty is an arrangement of molecules. That is not real character. It's the inner beauty of the heart that makes a girl hardworking. So if you want to marry a girl, read Proverbs 31 especially. If you don't know that chapter, Proverbs 31 is a chapter that all young men should read who consider marriage, because it says about the type of girl you should marry. In Proverbs 31 verse 10 onwards, a really excellent wife. Let's talk about the type of wife, Basically, I don't have time to read through the whole thing, but read verses 10 to 31. Verse 30, it says, she must fear the Lord. A woman who fears God. Otherwise, the two things that men look for, verse 30, charm and beauty. Deceitful. It can deceive you. Beauty is empty, skin deep. But a woman who fears the Lord. And the main things I see in this, I would say, if you look there, she works very hard with her hands. She rises up and makes food, verse 14, 15. She works with her hands and plants a vineyard, verse 16. And she works hard at night, and she stretches out her hands and uses a spindle to stitch, knit, and things like that, verse 19. She extends her hands to the poor. And she's made clothes for her family. This is a wife we're talking about, made blankets, verse 22. And it says in verse 26, her mouth she opens in wisdom, and the law of kindness is in her tongue. So it speaks about her hands and her tongue. A really godly young girl, her hands will not be soft. Her hands will be hard with working hard. Soft hands are the indication of a girl who doesn't do any work at home. She won't do any work when she gets married to you. And a hard tongue. Most of such girls have a hard tongue. A soft tongue that always speaks gently and wisdom. So I say, marry a girl with a soft tongue and hard hands. You go for someone whose hands are soft. She won't do any work at home. And her tongue is hard. Those are the things mentioned here in Proverbs. So that is real beauty. If you follow that, you won't have a regret. Not only that, you'll have a great ministry with such a wife and a family that you can bless other people.